This is the brief on Paolo Maldini. We're talking about an AC Milan and Italian football legend who literally redefined defending and is now stepping up to rebuild Italy's entire national team. First, look at his mind-blowing 25-year playing career at AC Milan. I mean, the stats are staggering. 902 club appearances, 5 European Cups, and 126 caps for Italy. But his greatness came from pure anticipation, not brute force. Like a chess grandmaster, he edited out danger before it even happened, anchored by his famous rule: if I have to make a tackle, I have already made a mistake. Second, this brilliance connects to a super rare 3-generation football dynasty. Paolo is literally the bridge between his father Cesar, who debuted for Italy back in 1960, and his son Daniel, who just made his senior debut. It definitely makes you wonder, right? Was Paolo's legendary composure drilled into him by Milan's system, or just an inherited trait passed down from this royal football bloodline? Finally, he's bringing that strategic brain into a pretty turbulent executive career. See, he built Milan's 2022 title-winning squad, snagging stars like Rafael Leao and Theo Hernandez, but was sacked just a year later in a ruthless power struggle. Now, as of July 2026, he stepped up as the technical director of the Italian Football Federation, prepping for the 2030 World Cup. But here's the catch. Can the quiet intuition of a world-class defender actually translate into the bureaucratic, high-pressure job of rebuilding a national team? Well, whether on the pitch or in the boardroom, Paolo Maldini's footballing intellect absolutely continues to dictate the past, present, and future of Italian football.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today's mission is to explore an absolutely unprecedented football dynasty, the Maldini family.
Yeah, because when you inherit a jersey with Maldini printed on the back, you aren't just getting, family memorabilia.
Right.
You're inheriting the weight of an entire nation's football history.
Exactly. And we're going to track 3 generations of this Italian royalty today. We're using some really fascinating articles from FIFA, Goal.com, and some in-depth tactical analyses.
Yeah, to really see what happens when this kind of historical, romantic football royalty collides with, cold, hard algorithms.
Right. So, okay, let's unpack this, because to understand the modern drama, we really first have to establish just how heavy that name is.
Oh, it's massive.
I mean, Paolo Maldini had this godlike status at AC Milan, and that's a legacy started by his father, Cesar, who debuted for Italy way back in 1960.
Yeah, and then Paolo took it to a whole new level. I mean, he played 902 games over 25 years for Milan. Right. He treated defending as this, art of anticipation. He famously embodied this idea that, if I have to make a tackle, I have already made a mistake.
That is just such a flex.
Right. But then we get to 2019, and he transitions to technical director for the club.
And it seems to work out initially. I mean, he masterminded Milan's 2021 to 2022 Serie A title, right?
Right.
He signed stars like Rafael Leao, Theo Hernandez, Mike Maignan.
He did. He definitely had an eye for talent.
But it's like a legendary actor suddenly taking over the movie studio. The vision is there, but the rules of the game are completely different.
Yeah, well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really became this intense ideological war.
Oh, so?
Well, despite building a title-winning team, Paolo's legendary aura just couldn't protect him from the harsh, data-driven realities of modern football ownership.
Right. The new owner, Jerry Cardinal.
Exactly. Cardinelli strongly favored a data and algorithm-based scouting approach. He's looking for undervalued youth.
So what does this all mean? Is the era of the quote-unquote football man dead, replaced entirely by spreadsheets?
It kind of looks that way. Paolo demanded larger budgets for, experienced players to raise the team's ceiling immediately.
Wait, but let me push back a little bit here, because Paolo also had some misses. He dropped 32 million euros on Charles de Ketelaere.
Right.
And that didn't exactly pan out right away. So couldn't you argue his romantic intuition was actually just poor financial management?
Oh, absolutely. And that was the core of his long-standing power struggle with CEO Giorgio Furlani.
Ah, okay.
Furlani and Cardinelli wanted sustainable investments. Paolo wanted a war chest. And in June 2023, Cardinelli sacked Paolo after, one really brief meeting.
Man, just out.
Yeah. The guy who literally is AC Milan.
But, while Paolo moves to this huge new role, he was appointed technical director of the Italian Football Federation in July 2026. The Maldini name actually returns to the pitch.
Yes, with his son Daniel.
Right. And what's crazy is Daniel debuted for Italy in October 2024 against Israel. He was 23. And poetically, it happened in Udine.
Which is exactly where Paolo debuted in 1985.
Exactly. But Daniel plays totally differently.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is Daniel is an attacking player. He completely flips the defensive script that was written by Cesar and Paolo.
So smart. Like, by moving up the pitch, he kind of escapes that direct comparison to his dad's, defensive perfection.
Completely. And tactically, he's exactly what they need. Coach Luciano Spalletti has praised Daniel as basically the missing puzzle piece for Italy.
Really? What makes him so crucial for this 2026 World Cup push?
Well, he's highly physical, and he's really great with his back to the goal.
Okay.
But mainly, he's this dynamic ball driver. When he gets the ball, his first touch is aggressive. He breaks defensive lines.
So instead of anticipating the danger, he is the danger.
Exactly. He's weaponizing the family's physical traits for the attack.
It's incredible. I mean, tying this back to the concept of the learner, this whole story is just a masterclass in how even the deepest legacies have to constantly evolve, or they just face disruption.
They do. You can't just coast on the name anymore.
You really can't. And it leaves us with this pretty wild final thought, with Paolo now running the Italian national team project as technical director.
Oh, yeah.
And Daniel breaking into the squad as this crucial attacker. Could the ultimate test of the Maldini legacy be Paolo having to actually manage his own son's World Cup fate?
That is going to be wild to watch.
It really is. The weight of that jersey is definitely not getting any lighter.
If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider subscribing to Decision 45. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep creating high-quality content just like this. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss an update.